Healthy intestinal bacteria can really be amped up when you eat an array of delicious fermented foods. In this short video, we'll discuss the role of probiotics and prebiotics, as well as how living fermented foods wage war on bad bacteria to quickly relieve your bloating, gas, indigestion, and more. And later, I'll share with you how to make wild fermented wine. As we've discussed, a healthy balance of intestinal bacteria is essential for a healthy gut, high energy, and overall feelings of well-being. Good gut bacteria help break down food, absorb nutrients, and protect the body from disease-causing pathogens. But a healthy balance of bacteria in your intestines can quickly be disrupted by too much bad bacteria, poor food choices, high stress, antibiotics, man-made chemicals, parasites, and more. To heal your gut, it's important to understand healthy intestinal bacteria and how to supplement them with probiotics or prebiotics. Those terms are often used interchangeably, but they have very different meanings. Prebiotics are non-digestible carbohydrates that act as food for the good bacteria in your gut. Probiotics, on the other hand, refer to the beneficial bacteria that support the healthy function of your gut microbiome. They are microorganisms that help improve your health when you consume enough of the right kinds. Both prebiotics and probiotics play an important role in your overall health. Weight loss and a strong immune system are also benefits of probiotics and prebiotics. Research has proven that probiotic supplements also have a positive effect on mood, cognition, and mental health. Although there are thousands of them, these are some of the most common probiotics. What foods provide good probiotics? Some fermented foods such as sourdough bread and most pickles are processed after fermentation. But note that processing kills most of the beneficial microorganisms. Microorganisms that are not alive do not provide the same benefits as living microorganisms. So contrary to some information online, sourdough bread and processed pickles are not considered probiotics. Eating a balanced diet that also includes prebiotic foods can help you keep your gut healthy and functioning properly. Examples of good prebiotic foods include onions, garlic, bananas, asparagus, oats, apples, legumes, and whole grains. Prebiotic drinks such as kombucha and kefir are also becoming increasingly popular. But be careful to choose products that don't contain toxins like man-made chemicals or added sugar. And prebiotic supplements can be found in many forms such as powders, capsules, and liquids. Fermented foods are a great source of natural probiotics. They've been part of the human diet for almost 10,000 years, and now they are more popular than ever. Not only do they provide incredible health benefits, but you'll also enjoy their unique flavors. From sauerkraut to kombucha, you'll find a variety of fermented foods in grocery stores and farmers' markets. So it's easy to add them to meals, or to snack on them in between. Fermented foods are an excellent way to spruce up your diet, and to add a variety of flavors, textures, and nutrients. Fermented foods are rich in probiotics, which support a healthy gut microbiome. They are increasingly popular, as people look for easy ways to improve their gut health and increase their energy. The health benefits of fermented foods have been intensely investigated. Each fermented food typically hosts a distinct population of microorganisms. Once ingested, nutrients and microorganisms from living fermented foods are most likely to survive and reach the gut microbiome. Clinical studies clearly show that fermented foods can affect the gut microbiome in both the short term and the long term. And they should be an important part of everyone's diet. What does it mean to ferment food? Fermentation is simply the metabolic process that naturally converts sugar to acids, gases, or alcohol. This process inhibits the spoilage of certain foods, such as cabbage, which ferments into sauerkraut. Foods can be fermented by placing them in an airtight container and adding microorganisms like bacteria or yeast. Fermentation has been used as a natural preservative for centuries. Because they are so rich in good bacteria, fermented foods can quickly increase the balance of good bacteria in your gut, and win the war against the bad bacteria. So your uncomfortable symptoms go away. These are all examples of fermented food and their beneficial bacteria. The term wild fermentation refers to the process of naturally occurring bacteria and yeast to ferment food. In other words, the raw food naturally contains microorganisms that react in combination. Sauerkraut is a wild fermented food. Cabbage, salt and water utilize a naturally occurring bacteria, lactobacillus, to break down and ferment. Other popular examples of wild fermented foods are kimchi and kombucha. Kimchi is a combination of sauerkraut and other vegetables, which is served as a side dish in Korea, with just about every meal. It's easy to make at home. Kombucha has been made for centuries. It's a fermented fizzy drink that's made with tea, sugar, bacteria and yeast. Now let's get on to the more adventurous challenge of making wild fermented wine. Perhaps you've seen the term, wild ferment, on a wine label. That means the winemaker has allowed the natural yeasts of the grape skins to do all the fermenting. Yeasts are everywhere, and by just leaving the grapes alone, in the right environment, the thousands of fungi will spontaneously ferment. Some winemaking enthusiasts say it's easy to make wild fermented wine at home. You only need a few ingredients. The higher quality the ingredients, the better the wine. Here's how to do it. Use pure water and fresh organic fruits. Be sure to use only food-grade containers and utensils. The simple 10-step directions for making wild fermented wine at home. 1. In a separate bowl, dissolve the sugar in the water. 2. Remove seeds or pits from fruit. Place fruit in the jar. 3. Pour sugar water over the fruit in the jar. 4. Stir, stir, stir. 5. Place the jar on the kitchen counter, out of the way. Cover the jar with a cloth to keep the bugs out. 6. Multiple times a day, stir again to keep the fruit submerged. This is an important aid in fermentation. Stirring inhibits mold growth, adds air, and mixes all ingredients. 7. Expect to see bubbles in a few days. Time will vary, depending on temperature and your chosen fruit. 8. After a few more days, expect the bubbling to calm down. When it does, remove the fruit. 9. Now taste the drink. If you like it, you may now drink it. Or, place the lid on the jar and allow it to ferment longer. Periodically, release pressure by unscrewing the lid, then retighten it. Taste it at least every week, until you like it. Please note, if something goes wrong and it tastes funny, or you don't think it's right, then trust your instincts and don't drink it. Start over again, and follow these steps closely. To download this recipe, see the link in the description below. We hope you enjoy it, and feel free to pass it around. If you like this info, please help others by hitting like and share. And subscribe to get the next video in this series. You'll get a better understanding of the best way to improve gut health naturally, and quick tips for smooth moves. Do you have any tips for making your own fermented foods with living cultures? Comment below with your hacks or questions. And suggest other topics you'd like to see in future videos. We read all your comments. SaferCures is your source for more natural, science-backed health solutions.